right, hey everyone. Uh, what we're doing with this call right now is me and Anne worked on a game jam over the past weekend with 10 other people. And what we're doing is we're just debriefing the kind of things that we did, and specifically what Anne did on the jam, and allowing her to talk about the different things that she did that she's proud of. Anne, do you want to introduce yourself and uh, give a little background? Get to know you.
Yeah, of course. So, my name is Ann Evans. I graduated from the Maryland Institute College of Art in 2024 with a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Game Development. Right after graduation, I became a computer science instructor, which has led me into becoming a lead game design instructor for Coded in the Schools, and I also do some creative media management for the organization as well.
Yeah, I actually remember going to a few of the global game jams when you were at Micah, and I saw you
Yeah,
there. I
yeah,
don't think we ever
definitely.
jammed on a team together. What kind of games did you
No,
make while we were
unfortunately.
there?
I was so busy with school. I think I only did one game jam myself, and I created a card game that I actually developed later. It was a like a drinking card game. It was kind of fun to create. I forget which theme that was for, but yeah, I created some type of drinking card game.
I
It's called It's Fine Because. It was fun though.
Okay. I remember there being one cool game that was called like Red Flags.
Oh yeah, that was it.
Yeah. Oh, so you worked on that
Yeah,
one. I love that
yeah,
game.
it was a red flags concept. Um, Yeah, I it's on my portfolio still, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty proud
Okay.
of it.
I do feel
Yeah.
like this is worth talking about because it was one of my favorite card games I've ever
Oh,
experienced.
really?
I wish you guys had kept going with that. Maybe you should. The premise of it was there was these. The idea was it was red flags
Hmm.
and you had to justify your partner. So
Yep.
you would have a series of green flags for somebody you were in a
Hmm.
relationship with, and then there would be a red flag. And given that that set, you would like draw three green flags and a red flag, and then you had
Hmm.
to like make up a profile of who this person was, and then justify to the group why they're still good despite this red
Yeah.
flag. And it was things like they kiss
Yeah.
with their eyes open.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it was like all these
Well,
like really
I'm
weird
glad you
things. And
enjoyed it.
oh yeah,
Yeah, actually, me and my friends still play it like all the time. So, maybe I'll look into
it's
maybe selling it one
I
day.
I swear it's got legs. Like you guys should absolutely consider doing that. It's because
That's a
it's
good idea.
collaborative storytelling. Like you sit there and
Yeah.
on the fly have to create an
Hmm.
imaginary person
Yeah.
who fits these things, and you're like, it's
Definitely.
okay. And then
Yeah.
to win the round, you have to everybody votes and just be like, you got to break
Yeah.
up. It's just like your
Yep.
person's the
Yeah. Yeah.
worst.
Yeah. Yeah.
The least redeemable. Yeah, yeah. That's awesome. Um,
I'm glad to hear. I haven't thought about that in a while, actually.
I, I'll be honest, it lives rent free in my head. I think about it at
That's
minimum every
amazing.
6 months. I'm just like whenever we
That's so
talk about
funny.
games. I was at a conference recently with it was like a writers convention, but there's a guy who has a pretty popular board game, and I was talking with him about it, and we were talking tabletop stuff. I was like, oh, let me tell you about this thing that happened at
Hmm.
a jam, and he was like, oh, that's a pretty cool concept.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think the only issue I have with it is like getting kind of like the backing to start creating copies and selling and all that. But um maybe I should look into it. You're giving me some hope.
Yeah. So on the jam, for those who are unaware
Hmm.
of it, we created a narrative explorer jam that was based off of the theme for the jam, Strange Places. Our character is basically a guy who gets lost in the mountains. A blizzard comes in. He's got a shelter in place, and the stuff that he finds, he has to like create a fire to stay warm and survive. But the stuff that he finds happens to be laced with hallucinogenics. It's like, and he ends up. You have a wild experience and go to strange places. Um, so Anne came in and did some of the 3D art, but you did some other things. You want to talk about
Hmm.
some of the work that you did on the project?
Yeah, so I was only able to join like the last 3 or 4 days just because of work and my schedule.
But you
But
got your
I was
Unity
able to
certification.
create. Oh yeah, and I
Yeah,
got my
congrats
Unity
on that.
certification.
Yeah, congrats on that.
Thank you. um, but I created some kitchen assets. So I created the refrigerator, the cabinets, and the counter, and then I also created the octopus trophy. And then final touches, I also created some of the UI elements for the title screen and the credits screen.
Yeah, let's pull up some of that work really quick. This octopus, that was a really cool model. It was low poly style, hand painted, and actually did
Hmm.
some collaboration with Rodrigo where you were able to get it set up and
Yeah,
like passed assets on, and you created a nice pipeline.
yeah, definitely. I was able to create the base structure for the 3D models, and then Rodrigo, since he has a lot of experience with painting texture, I handed it off over to him, and he did a really beautiful job painting the textures on the assets.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Do you have a lot of experience 3D modeling, or is it something that you just kind of know how to do? Is it like what you want to do?
So I would say 3D modeling specifically, I do have a large interest in it. I don't have a lot of experience in it. I think, once you go to an art school for game design, you kind of learn a little bit of everything. Um, so I think it is one of the things that I learned and I would like to keep practicing. And hopefully, I would say if I keep practicing, I would like to end up with a career in 3D art.
Yeah, 3D art is one of those things where it's so much fun to put together. It's like that would be
Yeah,
like the dream landing point. Like I know that I do a lot of
definitely.
programming and team organization in Unity, but like
Hmm.
ultimately my heart is like, wouldn't it be cool to just make awesome monsters and characters? And but it's like
Right.
I found myself just putting the games together, but like the art is amazing.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, it's definitely difficult because there's so much that goes into game development that kind of choosing a niche and really developing that niche. It's difficult when you don't have a career that not necessarily doesn't support it, but doesn't like hone in on only one thing. Since I'm a teacher, I teach every single aspect. I practice every single aspect of game development every day. Um, but I would say that is one thing that I would really like to develop further.
yeah, yeah. Um, so like with the teaching, you have to like touch
Yeah.
in on everything. Like what's the age range that you
Yep.
tend to teach?
I tend to teach high school students, and during the summer, we also get towards more college level as well.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Um, so actually, let me ask, what encouraged you to venture into game dev? Of all the different degrees that you could have gone, Micah's got a lot of great programs. Why game dev, game
Hmm.
design?
So actually, to make a long story short, I actually went to Micah for drawing, and I used to create these like installations where people would view my art in a certain space, and I liked to like create a space that people can feel a certain thing viewing my art instead of just viewing the art, if that makes sense. So when I was creating these installations my freshman year, my professor was like, "You should look into game development, because you like to create these types of spaces where people, feel a specific thing based on where they are and what's happening in the space." Um, so I decided to take a game development course, and I never looked back.
Yeah,
That's
it,
basically it.
it's a lot of fun.
And of course, I grew up loving games, playing games as well. So it was kind of just easy for me to fall into.
Yeah, I will say the fact that that you studied everything was extremely helpful during the jam because your generalist skills, you were able to jump in and kind of do a little bit of everything, like especially
Right.
towards the very
Yeah.
end, like you were one of our champions, like just rocking along, what can I do next, what can I do next, and there was like anything we brought
Hmm.
up, you were like, I can handle it, I got it. You helped us with our itch
Yeah.
page, you did UI stuff in our menus, you did some extra polish up in the levels, like it was nice.
Hmm. What's unfortunate about that, though, is it is really great being a generalist, but um, unfortunately, my long-term goal is to break into the industry, and industries aren't looking for generalists, unfortunately. So I would like to specialize in something. I gotta find my niche for sure.
But so you said you wanted 3D art to be your niche?
Um, I've been trying with game design, but it seems like game design isn't. Sorry, I don't want this to make it seem like I'm complaining or anything. um, but I've been trying to push for like game development. Game development's very hard for like a beginner, entry level game development. Um, so I do think I want to shift into 3D development, specifically 3D art. So it's definitely something I want to start focusing on more.
Yeah, the
That and level design as well.
okay. Yeah, having somebody who is actually building the levels is extremely helpful because
Yeah.
it's like you can have all the art assets created, but ultimately
Mhm.
you could have all the assets in the world if nobody pieces them together into the actual space you run around in.
Right.
But like
Right.
that's such a critical role.
Mhm.
I'm gonna keep that in mind. I'm gonna invite you to more jams, and if you want to be a
Yeah, I
level
would love to.
designer, build stuff out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. I would love to do that. Yeah, I'm definitely very interested in level design. I think 3D art as well, it's difficult because there are so many different artistic routes that you could go, and a lot of different games have different art styles that they want. So I think when you come to like level design, it's a lot easier for it to be flexible to different types of games as well, if that makes sense.
yeah. It's so like I mean, and that's the key thing. Like as a level designer, you're working with the
Mhm.
game design and the art aesthetic, and
Right.
you're trying to
Mhm.
like marry those into something where you are delivering the experience that's intended for the player with the pieces that you have.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that can be this is a horror game. You have to make the place look creepy and be unsettling,
Right.
but you
Right.
also at the same time have to have an element of UX there, so that if a player
Mhm.
steps in, they don't get lost, they don't get frustrated, they yeah, and they can clearly find their way and have the experience that we want them to, um, without those unexpected problems. Like I
Right.
remember a game I was working on. Um, we had it was a 2D game and we were using a tile map, and there was a path that we're like, oh, the players will follow the path, and then as they were walking, like the walls, there was a side path. And everybody would always go up the side path and like get lost at
Mm.
that point. It's like there's
Mm.
literally a path. Why are you not following the path?
Mm.
And it
Right.
turns out that the psychology of the players is the path was narrower, like the walls were closer together, and they just like
Mm.
walked in down the path where the walls were wider, despite there being an explicit path. Like it's weird how
Yeah,
player psychology works.
definitely. And I think even the environmental art can also shape how people experience a level as well. So having like solid level design for the environmental artists to shape the space as well is really important. Um, but yeah, it's really interesting how psychology can play a role in it.
Yeah. Well, what's nice about also being an artist is you can, as a level designer, you could go in and communicate with the artists and just be like, hey,
True.
listen, I
Yeah.
would love to have something like this. Can you guys do that?
Hmm.
And I'd be able to speak the vocabulary and the language.
Right. Definitely. Having experiences both is definitely important.
So, but what other kind of jams would you want to work on? Like, because like I said, I want to invite you to more jams as a level designer. Like, do you have any thoughts for like
Yeah,
the
of
kinds
course.
of games you want to work on and what you want to do on them?
That's a good question. Honestly, I'm open to anything. Um, I have no preferences for like types of games because honestly, I think it's important to learn how to create every type of game, if that makes sense.
Have some
So
flexibility in there.
absolutely. So I wouldn't say I have any preference. I guess I would say that I do have preference towards more of the design side, so level design or 3D design as well. And even 2D design. I have a lot of experience creating 2D assets for UI and things like that.
What kind of 2D stuff?
So yeah. Um, well, I work for my company as their creative media manager, so I have lots of experience creating like social media posts,
Okay.
graphic design, things like that. But not necessarily illustration, more like UI,
Like stuff you'd put together
advertisement.
in like Canva or something.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Canva's super easy. I have a lot of experience with Photoshop, all of the Adobe products. Um, so yeah, I have a wide range of experience and
That
things like that. Actually, like Photoshop was like my niche when I was like 10 years old. So
yeah,
loved creating like graphic design things for like Minecraft YouTubers.
that's awesome. I
Yeah.
I had a Photoshop class in high school, and that was before they had the
Oh,
good
that's
firewalls
cool.
up. So I
Uh,
didn't really learn Photoshop. I got really good at word womp though.
oh, I've never heard of that.
It's a game where you go and you play
Ah, I see.
and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
like
yeah.
type words out. So they give you 6 letters, and then you have to find all
Hmm.
the words that exist within those 6 letters. And you jumble them up. Cool. Yeah, I know some of the projects that we've got coming up. We uh, there's some of us who want to make a multiplayer game, so we might want to do
Mm,
like something using Photon specifically. I was
mm,
speaking with a developer who's been working in Photon for a while, and it's nice because while Unity has gone through all of its different netcode solutions and deprecated them every so many years,
mhm,
Photon has been consistent. So if somebody learned Photon 10
mm,
years ago, they can
mm.
still use Photon today. Uh, but with Unity, you had UNet and you had all these different multiplayer systems that have come through.
Right.
So
Hmm.
um, we kind of want to do a jam and just practice making that. I
Yeah, that
I
would be
know that
awesome.
I know we also have an idea for some more narrative focused jams, specifically
Mm.
like a cinematic jam where the whole purpose of the jam would be to create a cinematic system where you just have like a basically create a small short episode of a sitcom or something, but it would just be the kind of supplantable cinematic system that you could use in any other games.
Well, that's really cool.
Because a lot of times cinematics are such an afterthought in a
Right.
lot of games because people are focusing like, oh, you got to get the combat, you got to get the dialogue, but
Right.
then like what do you do for
Right.
actually building out the system where it's like, hey,
The
let's
story.
let's create a cinematic moment that tells a piece of
Mm.
story. I don't know of a lot of jams that just focus on doing one thing like that. So uh,
Yeah.
it's more of a mechanic. And it'd be nice to get a bunch of artists making custom stuff for it. Get some people focused on writing to have something that's cohesive, and then imagine putting 4 or 5 engineers on it, and everybody just brainstorms. What's the best way we can put this together?
Right. Definitely. That sounds amazing. I would love to be part of both of those.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely hit you up for those.
Perfect.
Um, do you have any grand games that you would want to build at some point?
Um, to be honest, I'm more of a follow the leader type of person. So I normally kind of, work with other people's ideas. I feel like I work best with that. Um, so it's hard for me to imagine, I guess. I don't necessarily like have a grand game idea. My like dreams and ambitions are to be a part of a team more than like create my own successful game, if that makes sense.
Well, I mean, yeah, I really resonate with that. I
Mm,
think back in the day, I used to play MMOs, and
mm,
Um, I still periodically go back and visit them, but there was something that was really cool about being part of one of the good guilds, like one of the top guilds on a server, because you're
right.
not just like a boss by yourself. It's you are part of this elite crew of people that get stuff done.
Mhm,
And that I would love to create a network, a coalition of developers who just learns how to work
mhm.
together really well, and we can sit down and
Yeah.
like we can do a jam and in record time build
Mm.
something like really really impressive for the amount of time that we put on it.
Right. I think that's the wonderful thing about game jams is it's interesting because if you work like with new people, you have to learn how to work with those people. But like for example, for my card game, the drinking card game, the red flag one, I worked with like my best friend, and it was like super easy. Like we have all these ideas, let's make this idea happen. It was a lot faster. So I think building something like that where like people create game jams together all the time, I think that would be a perfect way for people to really like what's the word, build up like the skills that they want to build up, especially if it's a team where everybody has kind of like more of a set role rather
Well,
than do whatever.
Well, yeah, I think there's a couple layers to it. The first is
Mm,
you build working rapport and trust with somebody. The more
right.
projects you do together, you learn about their working style and their communication style. And if like if they say they're going to do something, like it's if
Hmm.
you've never worked with somebody before, you're not sure, to what degree they're going to follow through, how fast they're going to come back, what's their quality of work going to be. Like
True.
if you've done
Hmm.
multiple projects, you already have a reasonable idea. But
Right.
but also through completing projects, you start to get not just that confidence in the individuals, but confidence in the process. You kind of
Mm,
understand what it looks like at the beginning and
mm,
what it's looking like in the middle, knowing that you're going to get to the end,
right.
and everybody's in sync with a coordinated
Mm-hmm.
process. You don't have to have the best process. You just have to have the same process, and
Mm,
everybody's going to be on board.
mm. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Definitely. I'm excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, yeah. We're I know I want to get more people in this server and
Yeah, definitely.
get them jamming with us.
Hmm.
Nice. So what do you think is coming next for you?
Um, so my short-term goal right now is I'm currently taking Unity certifications to hopefully become a Unity certified teacher this year. So I just took and passed the associate game developer um, certification, and I'm planning on taking the professional artist and then the professional programming one.
Okay.
You only have to take one professional one to become a Unity certified teacher, but I would
Yeah.
like to personally take both. Long-term goal, I would like to break into the game industry, of course, um, and kind of have a set role and position in the game world.
No, no,
Yeah,
that's really cool. What do you think of working on the team? But what do you think of your teammates? Any?
I think it was amazing. I really liked how we all kind of just like hopped in a call together, and worked together. I think that that was really cool. Like I was able to see everybody working at the same time when everybody went live. Um, I think that that was a really fun environment. Honestly, I haven't done many game jams. I did the game jam for, of course, my drinking game. Like it was just me and my friend. And then I did the global game jam for 2026 this January, and it was a lot more of like a structured, like every hour you have a meeting. And this one definitely felt a little bit more loose, but I do think that that
Okay.
looseness gave it more um, less pressure,
Okay.
definitely.
So
But it's hard because
I know this
sorry, go
team that
ahead.
you were on. You,
Yeah.
you jammed with Rodrigo, and he's the one who brought you
Yes.
in on our team. I've done a
Yes.
lot of jams with Rodrigo, and he has told me about that jam team. You're jamming with Tronster, and
Yes.
yeah, they run a tight ship. They are on a
Right.
production schedule, and he said
Right.
it's a machine how they
Yeah.
get together. Um,
Right. Definitely.
I've heard
I
it.
think
It's
there's pros and
mythological.
cons for both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was interesting having the complete shift. But the thing is also during this game jam is like an entire week and everybody has to work and things like that. So it's not as easy to have that kind of set schedule for everyone.
Yeah, I definitely I run a structured ship, but it's
Mm.
kind of like I allow people to have ownership of their part of the process, and you just kind of like
Mm.
go and you do what you need to, and we just
Mm.
reconverge.
Mm.
I
Mm.
don't like to micromanage what people are doing.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
And I'm not saying that they were micromanaging. It's just I'm a little bit more flexible on it because
Yep.
we are
Yeah,
working with
definitely.
people who are largely volunteers, and you have to work with a little bit of flexibility in your approach.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I did
Yeah.
really like the that global game jam project where they were
Yeah,
driving the
it
cars
was really
around on
fun.
Mars or something.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I learned a lot, definitely.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole goal. Yeah, if you haven't done a lot of jams, I think you'll really like them. You perform well, um, that from what I've seen, and I think that just the process of doing the reps, for one, that builds your portfolio. Two,
Right.
uh, it gets you the experience of working in the team environments, and
Mhm.
it gets you very familiar with the entire A to Z process, even if it's on a smaller
Mhm.
scope. And
Mhm.
if you can do sprints with much smaller scopes of work, you can still
Mhm.
do that sprint cycle with larger scopes of work for each step.
Right. Right. Definitely. I think a lot of like I've talked to a lot of industry professionals and they say, keep working, do game jams, things like that. And I've always been like it's difficult for me because I do really like value my personal life. So I like, going out with my friends and things like that. But I think especially like this game jam specifically, it wasn't so I guess compared to the one I did where it was very tightly scheduled. It didn't feel like I necessarily like had to get rid of my personal life to do the game jam as well. So I think with this kind of um, production, I think that I will definitely be able to, you know, enjoy game jams and have a lot more fun with them.
Yeah.
And of course, build my portfolio.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited.
Yeah. Or who knows, maybe our coalition will start producing really bomb products that people buy, and
Yes,
then who needs to get a job when you can make a job?
of course. Exactly, exactly.
Cool. Kat, do you have any questions? We have one person in the audience right now, and that's Kat, one of the other artists. You want to come up and ask some questions, make some comments, chat? I'll invite you to speak, and you can optionally.
Um, no, I think I'm good. As I mentioned before, I also went to Micah, um,
When did you graduate?
2009.
Ah,
I actually was there before there was a game program. I
I
majored
see.
as experimental animation. I don't think that
Yeah.
exists anymore.
Well, there's barely a game. Um, what's it called? Game major anywhere, anyways. So
That's
I
a
think
shame.
my yeah, my class was like the last like peak game um major, and then they made it a minor. They only have like 4 majors now or 5 majors at Micah. So
Oh,
That's interesting.
yeah,
Wonder why.
yeah. Money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that seems about right.
But I'm glad that I graduated with a game design major. And honestly, my experience there was really great. Sam Sheffield, who still works there, is probably
Oh, yeah.
yeah, an amazing professor who definitely shaped who I am today, game design wise.
Yeah, yeah. Sam is great. I um,
Mhm.
I lived in Bolton Hill for uh like 2 or 3 years, and
Mm.
yeah, I was right across the street from the game lab, so I was over there at every single game event, and I still
Yep,
coordinate
definitely
with him
seen
with
you.
yeah. Yeah, I still coordinate with him with a lot of the IGDA stuff and Game Your Future things
Yeah,
that we do for that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, definitely.
So Kat is a great 2D artist. She does amazing work with illustrations. She did a lot of 3D art on this project, and
Mm-hmm.
I've done multiple projects with Kat. We have a game released on Steam together,
Mm.
and we have another project that we're pretty deep in on, but uh, we're having some fun doing some other side projects right now.
Awesome.
Did you ever see that Base
Yeah,
Raiders game or Base Battles, the RTS?
Me?
Yeah,
Did I ever play it?
or see it. Like it's something that I've been showing off at a
Yeah,
lot of
no,
events
I
lately.
think I saw it at the Games for Good, and I'm pretty sure I played it.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that what you guys
Cat.
are working on?
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Is there any more like is there any new development on it?
We are almost done with the third faction.
Ooh, awesome. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah. It's
What's
it's
your
pretty good.
overall plan for it?
We're gonna have 4 factions, a number
Mm,
of maps that you can play on competitively, and
mm,
and for like a single player campaign, we want it to just be it's more the story campaign. We want to do you can play
mm-hmm,
it single player or co-op with one other person, and you'll either
mm,
play against progressively harder computer players,
mm,
either 1v1 or 2v2, where it's your friend versus just two computers with the same AI.
mm. That's awesome.
Just go through a little campaign, and we just put in some kind
Yeah.
of just some light story just to flavor it, like why are the
Mm-hmm,
cats people fighting the space marines, like let's figure this out.
mm-hmm.
um and yeah, just have something that you can do. Is the idea is, um can a parent play with their kid, sibling groups play together, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm, mm. Cool. What's your like where do you want to publish it?
Definitely Steam, but we think it
Mm-hmm.
would be a really good Switch title.
Definitely. Because I remember playing it, it was definitely it gave me like handheld type vibe.
Yeah,
Like,
we tried to make the controls very simple, and
mm-hmm,
it's optimized where I know on my laptop it runs at 230 FPS. So like we're trying to
mm,
make it, uh, you know, be very lightweight for what it is and allow it to,
right, definitely.
to just play on lower end. systems.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to see what you guys have been working on.
Yeah. You have anything else you want to say? Any comments or any special plugs?
Not necessarily. Check out the game that we just created, Do Not Burn. It has 10 more days to vote for it.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of my only other plug. Check out Code in the Schools if you live in Baltimore, and have a student that's interested in learning game design.
Thanks for chatting, Ann. And
Yeah, of
thanks
course.
for being here,
Thank
Kat.
you for inviting me.
I said no